Now, you did mention something a little while ago, and I know it's kind of what's taken over our industry the past year or so, but Teams. What does Volley have on that side of things for
Well, I'm
Microsoft
glad you
Teams?
asked that because that's my very next
Well,
slide.
look at that. Almost like I knew what was coming up or something.
So yeah, and we're starting to see this a lot more in a multitude of different verticals. Microsoft Team has become the fastest growing software, if you want to call it, since DOS. Today, they have north of 300 million active users utilizing Team in some aspect. And the beautiful thing about Teams and just enabling voice within Teams is you're not having to teach the customer a new product, right? They spend so much time within the Microsoft Teams environment. They're so familiar with the app. To simply enable voice within the native Teams app is becoming more and more of a no-brainer for customers. So that's what we offer here as well. It's a true direct routing solution. Yes, Operator Connect is on our roadmap, but again, we try to provide flexibility with our solution, and we feel like direct routing is the most flexible approach to the Teams voice solution, allowing customers to manipulate and change as much as they possibly can, doing more of a concurrent call model as well, so they're not oversubscribed on call paths or anything like that. So that's why we've taken this approach first and foremost. And also, it's what powers our resale partners like your Fortinets and stuff of the world. This is what they want to provide to their customers. This can be sold in a multitude of different ways, right? It can be sold as a standalone product where it is the voice solution for the customer. It can be sold as a complementary product where, maybe it's just their headquarters that utilize Teams for voice. We have customers that are like that. Their retail locations use traditional cloud-based phone solution. But then their headquarters, all of their employees use Teams, so they just enable Teams voice for that, right? So you're getting the same sort of functionality and features that a traditional UC product does without having to retrain your customer to have your customers retrain their employees on a new app, a new download, or anything like that. On top of that, we can provide dynamic 911 through Teams as well. Teams is sort of a cool environment that accepts bit flow. So let's say that you're a university or a K-12 school and you're utilizing Teams for voice and you dial 911. Instead of just saying, they've called from 790 Windmiller Drive, we're saying they're called from 790 Windmiller Drive, floor 4, conference room C. And the nice thing about the PID flow is that we're actively updating emergency services as the individual moves through the building. Maybe they called from the fourth floor, but as emergency services are on their way, they've transitioned down to the first floor. Now they're in a classroom C. So we're now saying they're on the first floor in classroom C. So it gives emergency services direct location for the individual who dialed 911, which is great because it expedites getting emergency services where they need to be faster, which is great, especially for the individual calling 911. But again, all of this is happening natively within the Teams app. There is nothing that you need to download within Teams. It's just simply enabling calling within Microsoft Teams. And again, we treat the Teams direct routing solution like you would a traditional UC. If you want to do, I have 200 employees, I have naming 200 license with 200 call paths. Great, we can set you up and we do completely bundled packages. But maybe it's 200 employees and you want to do a 5-to-1 call path ratio. Great, we can do that as well. So it gives you as much flexibility for the customer as possible while reducing costs, but also giving them, again, a next generation sort of communications. And again, with the Team solution, it can work across platforms, extension to extension dialing from Teams to another solution. So it also allows you to migrate your customers to a new solution. It's slower. You're not having to do it at all in one fell swoop. You can do it to different departments or whatever. Maybe it's just, again, headquarters that wants to do this. Cool, let's put you on this solution, but let's put you on the Volley network for the rest of your locations so that you have a more simplistic approach to communication.